Welcome into the CFB season show where we're going to recap week 6. What a crazy weekend in college football. A weekend we thought was going to be boring. We wasn't that excited for. And as always, college football delivers. Um, this sport is great. This sport is awesome. And I'm so blessed to be able to talk about it on here. And man, what a great weekend, Austin.
Yeah, it really was, man. It was so funny. I'm glad we're getting to do the recap show together this week because you and I both kind of, let's be honest, we didn't badmouth the sport, but kind of said this was the first week that the slate wasn't great, and here we are eating crow. What an awesome week it was.
It was an awesome week. Yeah, we do. You would think I would learn my lesson by now, and I put my foot in my mouth again. I thought I was kind of down on this weekend, but it delivered again. People on TikTok that are tuning in live, I appreciate the questions. Stick around to the end, and we'll maybe get some questions on live, or I'll do a Q&A at the end. So if you're asking questions right now, ask them again at the end of the show. I'm your host, Chris. You can find me on Twitter at CFBTalk07. You can find the show account at CFB_SZN. It's the same on YouTube also. If y'all could go hit the like and subscribe. You can also follow my boy Austin on Twitter at AustinStone077. And yeah, y'all come join us. We got our boy Season in tonight. He's going to tune in for the next 15 minutes before his meeting. What's up, brother? That's the co-owner and also another co-host of the show. Yeah, so super excited. Let's get right into it, man. UCLA 42, Penn State 37. The biggest complaint with James Franklin is he can't win the big one. Are we now going to talk about him not winning the small ones? I guess the bad ones.
Man, you go back to. Again, go back to Thursday night show and we talk about how stupid it is of Penn State, people asking, was his seat getting hot and all this kind of stuff. And we're like, oh, that's crazy, just because he can't win the big one. And then he turns around and loses to 0-4 UCLA.
His seat might be hot now.
I did not see that coming at all. Like, even when we call like the crazy upsets, and I wish, we have our group chat with a bunch of football guys, and somebody posted that Friday night or Saturday morning, and I wish I remember who it was now to give them a shout out, but they literally said, how crazy would it be if UCLA beats Penn State? And I'll be honest, I don't even think anybody laughed at it. I don't think anybody commented on it because nobody expected it.
No, wasn't even on my radar. Didn't watch until the second half of this game. Well, no, actually, no, I'll take that back. I went and watched it when I think it was 24-3 or something like that.
Yeah, because the final score's close, but it was a beatdown for a while.
Absolute beatdown. And I'll be honest, I think it's time for both sides to maybe part the ways. I think we may have hit that point at Penn State where it would just be best for both parties to go its separate ways. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. This is the first time in 40 years a top 10 team in the country lost to a team that was 0-4 or worse on the season.
Here, let me say this, and I'm reading this, but this is a quote. This is from James Franklin.
Oh, you're going to get me to go on a rant this early in the show? We're only 5 minutes in. I know what you're about to read.
Oh. Obviously, we didn't handle last week's loss well. We lost some players during that game and everything else. Then the travel and everything else. Did not come out with the right energy to start the game. Before you know it, they got a touchdown drive and onside kick. That sounds like you're making excuses.
You're going to get me to go on a rant. I'm sick. Oh, this is going to be good clipped on YouTube. I am sick and tired of these Big Ten coaches and their freaking travel excuses. You want to be pissed? Go talk to your president and your AD at your schools that invited these West Coast teams in and destroyed a 100-year conference. Stop going to the media and crying and whining about it. Take the check that Fox gives you and shut up. Just shut up because I'm sick of hearing it. Franklin has complained about it. Lincoln Riley has complained about it. Shut up. Shut up. That's what I want to say to both of them. Shut up. And I'm kind of pissed that the media doesn't like kind of hound them on this because it's like, well, why don't you tell us why this is happening?
Yeah.
I mean,
You knew this was going to be part of it
I mean,
when you signed up.
And you know what? I don't like realignment. We don't talk realignment on the show, and I'm not going to get into a big discussion about it. But I didn't like Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC either. But I can at least say that's not, going from freaking Oregon to damn Rutgers.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, a flight from Oklahoma and to South Carolina isn't far.
Right.
So I don't want to hear it from these coaches. I'm sick and tired of hearing it from them. This traveling crap is just stop complaining. Shut up. Take your checks that Fox give you and move on. Anyway, like Season said, too much talent to use the travel excuse. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. I think the story of this game was we talk about Penn State's offense and how bad it was. It was really the defense, Austin. 290 yards rushing UCLA had and 9 explosive runs. That is crazy. 6 trips to the red zone, and they got 39 points out of those 6 trips.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's insane. It was the first game that that guy New High School had called plays all season too. So I bet he's gonna walk into work tomorrow morning with his chest stuck out.
Yeah. And how that Season says, say that one more time. Season, it was Penn State had UCLA had 290 yards rushing, and they had 9 explosive runs. Explosive run, depending on who you look at, but it's typically, I think, 10 yards. That may be passing. It's either 10 or 15 yards is an explosive run.
What was the red zone stat?
The red zone was 6 trips to the red zone, and they got 39 points out of it.
Wow.
And the final score is 42-37.
Yeah. No, I don't. I'm with all of y'all. There is no excuse for Penn State.
We got some nasty comments on TikTok. How does it feel to lose to Alabama? How does it feel to be blocked? Anyway. We're gonna get reckless tonight. Yeah, I think the most fascinating thing was the defense. We all talk about the offense and how bad it's played, and I think the defense is the biggest story in this game, Austin.
No, I agree. I mean, you gave up 42 points to UCLA. I think Nico had three rushing touchdowns.
Yeah,
I think I read. I don't know. I really don't. I mean, do you think this is just a letdown from last week and we're overthinking it?
I don't know. We said it. Me and you talked about it like before the Oregon game, and I know they played decent. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends on your perspective. We talked about it before the Oregon game, though. Like they didn't look good against the Cupcakes they were playing either.
Right.
Like it wasn't like they were lighting the world on fire. I know people. When you have, I was on a TikTok live earlier, and some people were like, "Why is Ohio State getting so much love?" And it's like, well, Ohio State's handling business.
Yeah.
That simple. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to. The reason, and I, in my top 5, I actually bumped Ohio State down to 3, mainly because of their schedule. But I'm not going to bump them down any further than that because they've handled the schedule like they're supposed to. And Penn State hasn't done that. They've looked pretty bad against the teams that they played on their schedule. And I don't know. I don't think it's a letdown. I just don't think Penn State's that good.
Yeah, you know what? And I said on the show Thursday, this weekend was going to tell us a lot about some teams that we were still questioning, who they are. Those questions got answered this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. But how about Nico though? I mean, like, I've shit on the kid. I think his family, his team, his people. I think he did some shady stuff to Tennessee, but that doesn't take away from what he accomplished yesterday. He looked good. He looked like the Nico we thought we would always get. Now
Yep.
I'm curious to see if that's what we're going to see going forward, or is he turning a leaf? Is he?
I,
Yeah,
it makes me question. I made the joke about the OC and the play calling and stuff. I mean, it makes me wonder if they weren't letting him be himself.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It'd be something worth to keep an eye on. They may go back and get blown out this next week. I'm like, oh, okay, it was just a fluke, but definitely something to keep an eye on.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, kudos to him. I've crapped on him a lot this season, but you got to give credit where it's due when it's due. So
Yeah,
Bama 30, Vandy 14. Can I go on another mini rant before I?
come on with it.
I've had a couple of people say this, not many, but I've had a couple of people. I moved Bama into my top 5. I got them number 5 now.
Mm-hmm.
I had a comment at one point. It was like, because they beat Vandy, y'all, get out of here with that. This isn't your grandpa's Vandy no more, or at least this year and last year. This year in particular, this Vandy team is good. This is a good Vandy team.
I sent
This
you
is
a text yesterday, and it said, and I think at this time it was tied, or we might have been up 3. I mean, it was a very close game at that point. And I said, we're playing good.
yeah,
Like, I was not mad. We ran the ball better. Ty looked fine. Defense was playing fast, but Vandy's a good football team.
they are, man. I
That
said it all week.
you did, and I'll be honest. That's the first Vandy game I've watched all season. Um, Vandy was legit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They're a legit team, and I think it's impressive considering they just beat Georgia. Now they beat Vandy, and I've been very impressed with the last 2 weeks of Alabama. I've been very impressed. I think, we still got a long season ahead. They still got many tests ahead.
got one
There is
complete.
some, yeah, there's still some concerns with Bama. What I love though is like you just mentioned, they ran the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They ran the ball pretty well, I think. I didn't even look up the stats, but I thought, just from my eyes,
Yeah,
I remember thinking like, oh wow, they're running the ball well. Um, is that something that's going to continue? Then if that's the case, then watch out, especially with the way Ty Simpson's playing. Because Ty Simpson to me is he's making his case to be a Heisman candidate. Absolutely. And I was impressed with Bama. I mean, he looked shaky at times, Simpson did, but for the duration of the game, he played great. Like he played great. Yeah.
so honestly, I thought they ran the ball a little better, but they ended up with 146 yards, which is
Okay.
okay, but still only averaging 3.8 yards a carry.
How many yards were lost on sacks though?
I don't have that right in front of me.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know. I don't remember him getting sacked much though.
yeah, there was a couple. There was a couple for sure. I mean, Vandy averaged 7.5 yards a carry though.
Did they really? Yeah, I wrote that down. So that to me, we'll see on the run game if somebody on TikTok said they had like 3 sacks. Um
That sounds about right.
yeah, so the thing with Bama going forward, is the run game really fixed? It seemed like it did decent, but you just read off the stats. I mean, stat wise, that doesn't look great. But I saw some things yesterday in the run game that was encouraging. Either way, to me,
I
and
thought Jam Miller looked
yeah,
healthier.
he did. He looked better this game than he did the Georgia game.
Yep.
But like you just mentioned, let's go back to the run defense. That again is still a concern for me going forward. But you know what the good thing is? The good news is for everybody out there, Bama fans in particular, because for some reason our TikTok is a Bama love fest because it's all Bama fans on my TikTok. The good news is everybody has question marks. Everybody. We can go through the whole top 25 and name question marks. Even Oregon, even Ohio State, and even Miami. Well, maybe Miami. I don't know.
I got some stuff on Miami.
Okay, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. But my general point is we can go down the whole top 25. Everybody's got a question. There's nobody out there that is, a 2021 Georgia or 2019 LSU. So, I don't think that's something that will completely stop Bama from accomplishing its goals because there's so many other teams out there that has a lot of problems. I'll give you a chance. Did you have? Oh, here's another one that I thought was interesting, and it was something we talked about on the preview show. Vandy passing the ball, forcing them to pass the ball, and getting them out of their game. Yards per pass, Bama was 11 yards per pass, and Vandy was 5.8. So that's a big difference too. And don't let the score fool you. It was close up until I didn't even know they scored. I turned it off when it was, what was it, 20? Can't remember what the score was.
30-14 was the final.
But. Yeah, but I had turned it off before they scored that last touchdown, and I was like, "Oh, great! People are going to see that score and think it was a blowout." And I'm like, "No, Absolutely. It was a good game all the way, almost to the end." But anything
we had to score one more to cover that spread,
Yes. Yes. Anything you got from it on your side of things, because you are a Bama fan?
No. Other than I'm with you. I was pleased with the way they played. As much as I wanted to be like, because I kept kind of wanting to be down. Like, why am I passed a guy in a parking lot this morning. I had on my Bama hat, and he was Bama from head to toe, and he was an older guy, and he said, "You ever think you'd live to see a day where you were sweating during a Vandy game?" And I was like, no. But honestly, no. I was pleased with what I saw out of them yesterday. I felt like there was more progression, which is what I've said every single week, is where it feels like we're struggling, are we getting better? And, the run game, the run defense is probably still my biggest concern.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that starts to look better.
Yeah. Did you see the end where Bama fan Diego got into it?
Yeah, I hadn't watched it yet, but I saw the headline. I saw it and I saved it. So
first off, my little thoughts on it, and we won't spend too long on this, but one of the things, number one, don't be that kind of fan. But at the same time, I heard what ticked me off was I heard somebody from the Vandy side yell out something to the effect of, "You're talking to a kid like that." Listen, rant number 3. We're done with the kid bullshit. These ain't kids no more.
They're millionaires.
They're paid professionals that's paid more than hell. They're paid more than some professional sports, if we're being honest. I ain't gonna say which ones, but they're paid more.
Don't get us canceled. Don't get us canceled.
Yeah, don't get canceled. They're paid more than some professional leagues. All right. We're done calling these kids. Now, did the Alabama fan, should he have acted like that? No, he's acting like a jackass.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Diego talked his shit and
he asked for it.
He asked for it.
Yes.
But at the same time, don't yell at these fans saying they're just kids. No, sir. They're not kids no more. You wanted to get paid, you're gonna be treated as such. And in the pros, go up there to Philly and see how those fans act.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but you saw where he was practicing the kneel down during warm-ups.
Yeah.
Like he was clocking it, and he even threw the ball up in the air and hugged his center like they had just won the game. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'll never be that fan, but somewhere, in the backside of me, there were some chuckles going on, like, haha, you deserve that.
I chuckled too.
Yeah.
TikTok, we appreciate all the questions. I announced it before the show. If y'all could just hang tight to the end of the show. Depending on time, we may answer a few, but if not, I will do a live Q&A on TikTok only at the end of the show. So if you have questions, ask them again at the end. All right. And another stunner. Well, could we classify this one as a stunner? Because we both talked about this. Florida 29, Texas 21. What's so frustrating to me, Austin, is this seems like this was the Florida team I thought we were going to get this season.
Yep.
Why does this happened last year towards the end of the season when they beat LSU and Ole Miss? Why does it take this to happen for this to happen? It's just frustrating. It's like I couldn't imagine being a Florida fan, because that's got to be frustrating to see that. I mean, they look great. Yeah, and the biggest shocker to me, Austin, was Texas's defense, they got bullied, man.
Yeah, they did.
They got,
That was what shocked me a little bit. Obviously the question marks on offense were there, and they showed up. But I mean, Florida had question marks on offense, and they torched them.
yeah. I mean, they had somebody's average 7 yards per play up until that Florida game, and you can sit here and say, yeah, Texas schedule has not been good. Oh, he deleted the tweet. I was trying to pull it up. Oh, what a ding dong! Have you seen the Florida staffer's tweet? Oh man, he deleted it. Golly! So a Florida staffer not pretty much just not knowing his reading the room correctly put out a tweet showing it was like Sunbelt Billy does it again or something, kind of teasing fans for calling Sunbelt Billy, and it's like, read the room, dude. You're 1-3 or 2-3 now.
2-3,
and it's been kind of notoriously known around college football space that staff tends to read Twitter a lot and kind of revoke access to certain people for saying certain things. But anyway, I was going to pull it up, but he deleted it already. Smart. I don't know why he waited till now. I mean, the tweet was up. He did it yesterday. So I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I was man, I was pretty shocked by Texas's defense, man. They look bad. They look bad. I was not shocked by Texas's offense. I think, they played like that all year. And
yeah, they really have. And I remember somebody on the show talking about how bad they thought their offensive line was going to be this year, before the season started, and I think it showed up yesterday. I mean, they only had 52 yards rushing. Not to mention, I didn't see. I was trying to see how many times he was sacked, but
it said, now this is according to PFF, and I think we know my feelings on PFF. I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate, but it says he was pressured 29 times, 7 sacks.
I know the game ended with 2 sacks.
Yeah, if anybody can fact check that on TikTok or YouTube, let me know. But according to PFF, he was sacked 7 times.
Yeah.
When
your quarterback gets sacked 7 times and you have 50 yards rushing.
Yeah,
you got a problem.
And you know what's also like, I'm not an archman and defender. I don't think he's great. I did say that I thought next year would be the year he was going to be really good, but I think he's getting a little bit too much hate because I don't think it's just Arch, as we've talked about. They have issues all over that offense. The offensive line's bad. The receivers are not good like they have been in the years past, and the run game sucks. Those are 3 things that, I mean, no quarterback's going to survive that. I mean, look, I mean, we can go ahead and go back to Georgia. Look what Carson Beck looked like last year.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's no quarterback. I mean, I don't care if it's Tom Brady. I don't care if it's I don't care who it is. They're just not going to look good with that bad of a team.
Yep.
And I was trying to filibuster to get this in. There it is. August 11th, 2025, 8:53 in the morning. Your boy Chris here. I'm feeling spicy today, Austin.
I see that.
Your boy Chris said, again, August 11th, I think Texas is more likely to go 9-3 than being a national title contender. So, just saying.
Yeah. Do we want to go through some of your other stuff that you?
No, we do not want to go through other takes.
Okay.
Cool. On this show, we only discuss our good takes, and all our bad takes we never said.
Right.
We delete them off the internet forever.
I mean, obviously this doesn't mean anything, but just earlier was looking at the AP poll that came out, and who would have thought in week 6 we would have a top 25 poll that did not include Texas, Penn State, or Clemson?
Yeah, I know. I'm as much as I'd like to brag, I didn't think that. We had that discussion, remember, on the show. Every year there's the 1 or 2 teams. There's at least one that's out of the – we all pick – well, we'll get to this later. A couple of us picked Miami to be out of it, and um, I would have never thought Texas, even though I was down on them. I thought, bottom of the
especially yet they hadn't played. I mean, they hadn't even got into the meat of their schedule yet, really.
and I don't have their schedule pulled up, but do we even think 9-3 is possible?
Hold on,
I mean, they got Oklahoma. I do know that.
You got Oklahoma. You're at Kentucky, at Mississippi State, Vanderbilt coming to Austin, at Georgia, Arkansas, A&M.
I can easily see 4 losses.
Absolutely.
Easily. I guess
the only thing that may save them is Mateer being out at Oklahoma, but I still Oklahoma can still beat them. They look good yesterday.
Somebody asked me on a live earlier today who I picked, who am I picking in that game, and I added the caveat that I can change my mind. But as of today, Sunday, I'm picking Oklahoma. Oklahoma. I think that defense is nasty. All right, Cincinnati 38, Iowa State 30. Didn't think I was going to talk about this game, but yet here we are. Cincy almost screwed it up, man. They almost screwed it up, but
another beatdown for a while.
Yeah, another beatdown for a while. We were talking about this through our text messages during our day. Another surprise team in the Big 12. This was a team kind of like Arizona State last year. They were picked, I believe, they come into the season, they were picked dead last. I know we picked them dead last in the Big 12, and man, kudos to Cincy, man. They had 12 explosive runs, 260 yards rushing, 7.7 yards per carry, and 3.6 yards before contact. They were just gashing Iowa State on defense. And you had mentioned before the comeback that Cincy's defense looked really good too.
They really did. I'm with you. This game wasn't on my radar to even watch, and I remember flipping it on my phone and just watched a couple of drives. And yeah, I mean it was impressive because Iowa State, I mean, they've been playing good football.
Yeah. I was hoping Bus had messaged me earlier and said he may still join us, but I guess he got tied up. I was kind of slick hoping Bus would have joined us tonight because he's been on the Iowa State overhype train for a while. And so, yeah, I mean, great win for Cincinnati. Great win for Cincinnati. I tell you, before we move on, that Brendan Sorsby, I think it's his name, Sorsby kid, that quarterback for Cincinnati, he looks good.
Yeah.
He's pretty impressive. I like him a lot. But, yeah, good win for Cincy. Be curious to see. We actually had a Cincinnati fan in the TikTok live earlier I was doing, asking me some Cincinnati questions if they could make the playoff. And I answered, it's the Big 12. So, yeah, they can absolutely make the playoff.
Nobody has – and we knew the Big 12 was going to be full of parity this year.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that 100 times before the season started, and still 6 weeks in, nobody has separated themselves.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, we lost you for a minute.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. I was like, oh, God.
Sorry. But no, I was just saying, 6 weeks in, nobody has separated themselves to be the front runner in the Big 12 yet.
Yeah. Oh, we got UT football chick on Twitter, on TikTok. Awesome. Hey, y'all go follow her. She does really great work on TikTok. We may be having her on as a guest Tuesday for an Alabama. Oh, wait, y'all don't play Tennessee this weekend. The next weekend, we may be having UT football chick. She's a great follow on TikTok. Does great work over there. Miami 28, FSU 22. Don't let that score fool you because going into the fourth quarter, I believe it was 28-3, total domination by Miami.
Yeah.
I think, and we're going to get back to Miami after this recap for a game ball. I knew coming into the season that they did. I was down on Miami, but I did talk about the O-line and D-line being a strength. But I'll be honest, I did not think this D-line and O-line was going to be that good.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make an argument it's the two best groups in college football. And what I wrote down in my notes, Austin, was when you have the D-line and O-line like that, you can go really far. And this is the first time in Mario Cristobal's career where I felt like he could legit win a national championship. Because last year, people may hear that and go, I mean, they had Cam Ward last year. When I watched Miami last year, I was like, it's just Cam Ward and that's it. Like, you take him out of the equation, this is a 7-5 football team. I don't feel that way this year. I feel like this is the most complete team he's ever had.
It's the defense, I think, that surprised me the most.
Yeah.
I knew the defense was going to struggle. I mean, even when I was high on them and trying to talk them up as you guys destroyed them in the offseason, I said every time I thought the defense would still be a struggle, but the defense has played really well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's been the biggest surprise. And now I don't want to give myself too much credit because I did shit on Miami all off season. I predicted them to be the team in the top 10 to be unranked by the end of the season.
Yep.
So I was an idiot for that. But I did like that DC hire, but I didn't think he was going to have that thing cooking this quick.
No.
Not this quick.
Even when, like I said, even when I was high on him, I said that was going to be the issue. But what do you think about Florida State? Or did we give them too much credit in that first game? I mean, back-to-back losses now, and like you said, this score doesn't show it, but last night was a beatdown.
It was a beatdown. I'm still okay with FSU, man. I think the Alabama win did do them a disservice in perception. Yeah. I don't think this team is as bad as 2-10, obviously. I think that's just stating the obvious.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think everybody's mindset when they beat Alabama was, oh, they're back as a national championship contender, back to the 12-0 team.
Yeah.
Which probably wasn't fair.
Yeah. Screen froze again. You good?
Is it?
Yeah, it did for just a second, not long.
Sorry, it's not showing any issues on my end.
Maybe it's me. It might be me.
I don't know.
We had our power go out earlier today, so.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
It's raining here right now, but
I mean, the wind blows in my neighborhood. We lose power. But yeah, it's probably me. My internet's looking like it's kind of spotty right now. I think they're a good team still. I don't think they're, what we thought they were after the Alabama game. I said it when they lost to Virginia. This team, and it's also a Gus Malzahn thing too, is they're just not built to come from behind. Georgia could do it. Other teams in the land in college football right now are built. They could come back, but this Florida State team's just not built. When it went 14-3, I don't think I text you my famous saying I always say, but at the house I said ball game. I mean, it was over. I knew it was over because FSU's just not built that way, and Miami kind of just stopped them, from the jump and got on them early, which is what you have to do against Gus Malzahn in this rushing attack. So I just left the game thoroughly impressed with Miami. A lot of people say you should put them number 1. I put them number 2 still, but you teased it earlier. You said you may still have some concerns about Miami. Is that where you say this now?
Couple things. I would say, like, going through the stat lines of the game, the only 2 things. I mean, you have that offensive line. They only ran the ball for 97 yards, averaging 3 yards a carry.
That's true.
You got to run the ball better than that with that good an offensive line. And then the second thing, they had 13 penalties for 114 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can they clean that up? Just stuff. Again, trying to nitpick it now. Since they are looking so strong, but that was really the 2 things that jumped out at me was the rushing game wasn't great, and they got to clean those penalties up because that's a lot. You lost the whole football field.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I didn't even know that. I'm glad you brought that up. I definitely agree. That's a problem. Getting a couple of questions in TikTok. Guys, appreciate the questions first off. I announced it before the show, though. If y'all will stick around when we get off YouTube, and I'll do a Q&A with y'all. So just ask your questions again, at the end. I see some Arkansas questions. I'll get to them at the end. Before we move on to our game balls and around the scoreboard, if y'all could just go hit the subscribe button on YouTube at CFB_SZN. Appreciate everybody that's viewing right now. All right. Before we go to round the scoreboard, let's give our game balls. This is where we give out. I mean, it's self-explanatory. It can be anything. It can be anywhere from person, fans, players, coaches. Doesn't matter. I've got 2 game balls tonight. First one is my man, Austin Stone. I want to give him a game ball because in the offseason, if for people that are new here and maybe didn't catch the offseason shows, we did our ACC preview show, and I and our other co-host CFP season, we gave him a lot of hell for his Miami hype. He had Miami in the ACC championship game. We just did not have any faith in Miami, and you know what? He took the arrows we were shooting at him and just stayed quiet and just stated his facts and his opinions, and look who ends up being right. So yeah, game ball to Austin for the Miami.
I will take that. I'll add it to my trophy case.
That is going to be on his grave one day. And then my other one is DJ Lagway. He's kind of had it rough the last couple of weeks, and I'm a big fan of Lagway. I think he's a phenomenal kid, and good for him to have the game he had yesterday, and he looked really good. So hopefully that continues for him. But those are my game balls.
Yeah, no, awesome game balls. Honestly, I'd probably stay with Miami. I give my game ball not just for this game, but for the season he's having is to Carson Beck. I mean, would how he looked last season to be able to shake that and go down to Miami and kind of take over this team. I mean, he went 20 for 27 yesterday. He only has 3 picks on the season, which you're like, that's okay. Well, he had 12 last season. So no, that's awesome. I think he's just playing lights out right now, and he's the reason that this team is I mean, yes, he's surrounded by other players, but I think the way he's managed it is the reason the team is where they are right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I could not be happier for somebody. I know a lot of people think, when they see me wear the Georgia gear, that maybe I'm a Carson Beck hater. I'm not. I thoroughly I'm happy for him. I think
last year was not all Carson Beck's fault.
It wasn't.
That was one of the worst offenses Georgia has ever put on the field. Let's call it what it is. Now he didn't help, trying to force the issue, which is why he had 12 picks. But and he didn't finish the season, did he? But anyhow,
he got hurt in the SEC championship game.
Yeah. So anyhow, no, I'm with you. Huge bounce back for him, and he almost seems to be a little more humbled right now too.
He does. That's another thing I want to bring up, because I also think this conversation, so many things can be true. Because I'll see comments where I bet Georgia wishes they had him. Honestly, guys, I don't pretend to be an insider. I am blessed that I do know some people and I get some inside info from time to time. I don't usually share it because I don't ever want to be an insider, ever. I never want to be in that line of work, ever, because I see how much shit they get when things go wrong. But one of the things I did get was that situation just got toxic. It got toxic at the end. Look, they were together for 5 years. That's a long time. And I think it was best for both parties to go its separate ways. It just got toxic at the end. And I think all this can be true. I think Carson's doing a great job, and I'm happy for him. And I think no matter what happens with Gunnar Stockton, if he even tanks, I still think it was best for both parties to just go its separate way.
Absolutely.
And good for Carson. I'm cheering for Carson. And like you mentioned, he does look more, like you said. And maybe he's realized, because look, there was issues on Georgia, but some of the issues were on him too, as far as leadership. I don't think it's no secret how the team reacted when Gunner came in for the SEC championship game. And there's been comments said by players on those player podcasts that they do. And, but look, all things can be true. And it's just best for all parties to move on. All right, let's go around the scoreboard. Texas A&M 31, Mississippi State 9. I'll be honest, I didn't watch much of this game. I will say the one caveat, or the one thing I did want to mention on this game, I was on a TikTok live earlier, and somebody gave me this crazy stat, Austin. Now, I did not fact check this, so if I'm wrong,
blame it on TikTok.
Yeah, blame it on TikTok. We'll go find the guy that gave this to us, and we'll rightfully blame the person who this is. But maybe it's bad on me for not fact checking it. But let's see. Here it is right here. This is the last two games, if I remember correctly, him saying. On third down, Texas defense is 1 for 23. Team in the last two games, they've only allowed 1 third down conversion.
Seriously?
That's what somebody on TikTok said. It was an Aggie fan, and I'm assuming he's right. You may need to fact check me on that while I talk. I'll talk and filibuster while you fact check that. Let's do that live. I think I didn't watch a lot of it, but one of the things that were that continues to be a problem for Texas A&M is the penalties. I think they had 9 penalties last night, which the week before they had 13. We talked about it on this show that the thing with Texas A&M is how bad they are at penalties. I'm doing a horrible job filibustering. But I was really impressed with Texas A&M secondary to hold Mississippi State like that, which has a good passing game. You're shaking your head like that, like you're in disbelief. Is it true?
Mississippi State went 1 for 10. Auburn went 0 for 13.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
That's insane.
Wow. That is crazy. That is nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts. Wow. Yeah. So I didn't watch much of this, but I wanted to have a discussion about this one particular team. Texas Tech 35, Houston 11. So I do like advanced stats. And now my co-hosts, they don't hate it, but it's not something they particularly dive into. One of the things I find fascinating about Texas Tech, Austin, do you remember in the offseason when I said that I predicted Arizona State's going to beat a Power 2 team in the playoffs? That stupid prediction. I'm going to make a midseason switch, and I think Texas Tech will. Maybe I'm getting too excited, but I was looking at Bill Connolly on ESPN, and what he does is an S&P plus rating. It's a computer rating, and it's meant to be predictive. It's meant to be, if you win a football game and you're lucky, you're not going to rise up in the rankings. If you lose a football game and you're unlucky, you're liable to actually go up in the rankings. It's a computer model, and it really does well most of the time. Like, people shit on computer models, but it's a computer model that actually hits really well. It was actually the model that had the Tennessee-Georgia game being extremely close when most people thought Georgia was going to blow Tennessee out, and they didn't. But anyway, the point of that was I've followed his rankings for several years now, and I've never seen a Big 12 team, even when Texas and Oklahoma was in it. I've seen Texas and Oklahoma in it, but I've not seen a team like a Texas Tech be ranked where it is, which is 4th right now in the computer models.
Wow.
I think this team is legit as far as defensively. That D-line is – I think that D-line would give Georgia problems.
Well, we talked about this team a lot, and, obviously they were getting a lot of hype, and we didn't really understand it until we did our Big 12 preview and really dove into it. And the amount of talent that's on that team is hard none, but it was, could they turn that into wins? And I'm with you, man. So far they look awesome.
Yeah, we're having a TikTok discussion. I'm side eyeing it right now while you were talking about Ed Orgeron. I don't know how they got on this topic. This is killing me. This is funny as hell. But they're having a side conversation about Ed Orgeron at Penn State. Could you imagine?
They wouldn't know what he was saying, but
Somebody said that in the comments. Somebody said nobody at Penn State would understand him.
man, college football needs Coach O back in the game.
They do. God,
does,
he would be
man.
great at Penn State for me. I would love it. Content wise, it would be amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
That's awesome. UT football chick, she said her live came up with that. Okay. And everybody needs to check out her live. I checked it out yesterday. She does great stuff, man. Man, Bill Belichick. Can I go on another rant?
Dumpster fire, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 3 for 3 on rants, or maybe 4 for 4. I'm losing it. Track now. But I on this show, I don't ever want to call out a fan base because we want to be welcome into all fan bases. But North Carolina fans can go kick rocks because I got some of the most nastiest comments I've ever gotten from North Carolina fans this offseason when I mocked that hire. And I'm now seeing a lot of them on Twitter backtracking. No, don't backtrack now, homie. No. We ain't going to do that backtracking, North Carolina fans. Suck it up. This is your guy. You said some ugly things to some people, not just me. But you gonna deal with it, baby. Don't start having regret now. Not after all the nasty shit you said all off season. Deal with it, baby. We tried to tell you this was gonna be a disaster. Disaster. Have you seen the GM at North Carolina already send a email to donors? Yeah, I'll send it to you in a text. But yeah, disaster, Austin. North Carolina fans, you can shut up.
He won't be there next year, right?
Nah, I don't think he will.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's stubborn and hard-headed, though. He's pretty stubborn, man.
Sure.
Look, I'm not gonna get into the whole is he the greatest coach? I'm not getting into all that. I don't care to. Was it him? Was it Tom Brady? I don't care. I've never been a Bill Belichick fan. I will admit my bias here. I don't like the guy. I think he's a douche. I think he thinks he's smarter than everybody, and quite frankly, he really isn't. He really isn't. So it's whatever. I can't wait to clip all these things I've said tonight.
Yeah, you're going
I'm gonna piss a lot of people off on TikTok.
Yeah, you're gonna spend the next week arguing with people online.
Yeah. Kansas State, Baylor. That was a pretty good game, man.
That was a great game.
Damn Baylor. We say it all the time though. It's shootouts. That's how they're gonna win.
Yep. Yeah, they're gonna win. Baylor's defense is just bad.
It's so bad. But anyway, all right. Louisville, Virginia was on here too. That was a pretty good game. I don't really have much of a big takeaway there, other than, hey, Virginia, man, we may be seeing them in Charlotte. That's a
solid football team.
How about, I know this is going to be a shocker to talk about, but I don't know if you even seen it, Austin, because you was at your son's birthday party. But how about Pitt with did you see they benched Eli Holston?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Backup looked good.
Started the 18-year-old, came in and yeah.
Yeah, 30 for 41, 323, 7.9 yards average and 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Yeah.
Crazy. I think that'll be it for the live did you have anything else that caught your eye before we get off this one?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything for this week.
I almost had my damn upset pick, dude. God, I almost had my upset pick.
Yeah, you did.
21 points by Washington in the fourth quarter, man. Unbelievable. There was a point in that game where I turned it off because I was like, oh, yeah, I got my upset pick. And then I did not find out hours later that they lost. So pissed. Yeah, I don't see maybe Nebraska, Michigan State. Good win for Nebraska. I thought they handled business. I thought that was a game that they could get beat in. That was like a typical game that Nebraska could lose. Yeah, TCU. I mean, Kansas UCF was a good game. Also watched it, and yeah. All right, let's end the show on one more thing, and I hope. Let me actually pull it up on. And let me get to it because it's going to require me going to my DMs, and we don't need to put that on the screen. Try not to. They don't need to see some of the group chats.
I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I've been your best friend for over 20 years, and I don't think I want to see your group chats.
No, I want to see the group chats. We do not need to expose group chats on this show right now. I wanted to pull something up. I meant to actually do this as a game ball, and I didn't because I completely forgot. Here it is. Let's see. I want to give out a late game ball. We usually don't give game balls right here. I don't even know who this is. I don't even know who that team this is. But Terrian Dickens, 42 for 42.
Dude, that's insane. I almost text you. All right, so I'm in this group chat, and I saw that come in yesterday, and I almost texted you because I didn't have time to go look who the hell they were talking about because that's unbelievable.
Wild.
It's, I mean, it's like me and you have said before. Like we could be standing in the backyard throwing a football, with not even anybody guarding us, and we wouldn't go 42 for 42.
No, super impressive. I don't care who you are. And it looks like that's an FCS team. So Western Carolina, I believe, is an FCS team. I don't care what division it is, what level it is. To go 42 for 42 is absolutely stupid. So
at least somebody came back and won the game because they were down by 1 at that point.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right. Well, what a great show. I was really worried about this week's show because I was like, this slate's like, but college football always delivers, man. And we're gonna keep on TikTok, or I am. Austin's gonna go enjoy talk about UCLA. We did go watch the replay, Trevor. We definitely talked UCLA, but we'll get on it after live. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We'll be back Tuesday.
Get some rest.
Yeah,
we're gonna need it for next week.
Next week's a good slate. Watch next week not deliver. That'll be the week. That'll be the football gods getting me back for being stupid and talking about how this week's slate was not appealing. But yeah. Appreciate everybody tuning in on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. Let's go hit that subscribe button on YouTube at CFP_SZN. If you're watching, it's right under Austin. He just pointed at it. Appreciate Austin always filling in on clutch. Had a weekend getaway, probably the worst weekend to ask him to come on the show. But
I got home like 20 minutes before it started up. We're good.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. You probably need you next week. So I don't know if you have anything planned.
I'll be out of town next week.
Are you again?
Yeah, next week mine and my wife's anniversary. I'll be watching football Saturday, but I won't be able to do the show Sunday night.
Yeah. She's more important than me. I know. Yeah, that's unfortunate. All right, well, I'll figure it out.
If you can't find anybody, I can find a way to slide it in.
Nah, I'm sure Bus can come on. That's awesome. Anniversary. Yeah, that's right. It is y'all's anniversary. I knew that. All right, appreciate everybody. Y'all come tune in to us. We won't have a Monday show. Come tune in Tuesday to talk SEC football on our SEC show, and me and Austin will be back Thursday. So see y'all later.